I'm feeling wonderful, brother. How you feeling,
I'm
man?
feeling good. It's been a minute coming. It's been really a minute. When I say a minute, because this obviously started back in 2018, really, when I first met you. But before I even get into that, we got a special guest, Vonkeith. At the end of the day, I know we've built a super solid relationship since we first met, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we met in 2018 as well, right? Okay, 2018, when I was in school, and you was obviously out of school for a minute by then. You still super young. Don't ask his age, y'all. Don't ask his age. But so first and foremost, I'm glad to have you on.
I appreciate it.
Nah, for sure. So Evolving Through Experience, as you all know, just another episode where we're just going to be talking about everything growth, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and beyond. It's no levels that we're stopping at. It's no heights that we can't reach with Evolving Through Experience. So as we dive in, man, this is more of behind the clippers. We obviously know you're a barber. You're more than a barber, and we actually had that conversation as well, while you don't prefer everybody just to call you their barber, because really, and the reason I say that, I know you said that, but you're a lifeline. And I'll explain why I say that as we go on. I won't say it just exactly right now, but I'll explain it as we go on. So let's first tell them a little about yourself.
Man, that has to be hard, because I don't like to brag on myself too much. But I'm gonna just start off. My name is Vonkeith Richard. A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know if you went the government out. I know.
It's all good. It's all good. A lot of people like my first name. They say it sounds like some Greek god or something. So I just I roll with it. But I go by Vonkeith. Just to keep it short. I was born in Crowley, Louisiana. I was raised in Lafayette, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana, half of my childhood. And then I moved to Atlanta in 2007, actually. Started high school, 9th grade at South Gwinnett. Yeah, man, this is the hard part, man. Bragging on yourself.
Nah, it's all good. And I mean, we'll talk about that too. I don't think it's bragging on yourself. You just telling who you are, and I think that's valid.
But yeah, moved out here to Atlanta in 2007. I think this is where I really learned who I was out here in Georgia. So, when someone asks where you're from, I say Louisiana and I say Atlanta, because,
a pivotal part.
I mean, when you're growing up through your adolescence, and when you figure out who you are and who you're becoming, that's where you're actually from.
Correct.
And a lot of times, it's not about where you're from, too. It's about where you're going, Exactly. And I thank God for my mother to this day. Rest in peace to her soul, but she took a big risk, with pennies to $1 just to move us out here. And I was actually having a conversation with my younger sister about this yesterday, and we were both just saying, like, wow, like, I can't believe my mother took the risk and moved us all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, and when you're coming from Louisiana, man, I know you from New York and everything, and, cost of living is a lot higher, and, you come down here, and it's like, man, you can actually spread your money a little bit more, but when your money is pennies to $1 and you come into a big city, and you looking like, man, how am I going to survive out here? You go from uniforms to you wearing regular clothes every day, and you can't go to the mall every weekend, you wearing the same clothes every week, that really, it humbles you, So correct. I do come from very humble beginnings. I'm a hustler, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I made my first dollar when I was, we're going to say 10 years old, maybe 11. I was in 6th grade. I was looking around in my duplex. Everybody's car was dirty. It rains a lot in Louisiana. So I was like, you know what?
Clean it.
Make some money, man.
Yeah.
So I just knocked on the lady's door next door to me. I said, hey, ma'am, can I wash your car? And I don't know if she thought just because I was so adorable. Yeah. She was like, hey, go ahead. But I watched it so good.
She gave you
became
$1?
a regular client.
Oh, okay. But she gave you $1 though?
No, she gave me $1.
Hey, you said $1, so I'm like, nah, she violated. We got to find her.
But I think, how much I think I watched the car for like $10, man. And, they gave me the confidence to keep going. Because if you get a first hard no on your first hustle, that'll discourage you. You'd be like, never mind. I should have did it then. But thank God for her. She gave me the yes, and I started going to all my neighbors, and I was washing everybody's cars, man. Sure. I think I made a good $50, $100 in a weekend. I was like, okay, cool. I can get somewhere.
Yeah, facts. Well, now I want to go back because, like you said, first, again, shout out to your mom and my condolences for sure. You said she brought you, and you said you and your sister had this conversation pretty much yesterday. So y'all pretty much, you would say y'all had like an epiphany of like just for self-reflection, like seeing how far y'all came.
Most
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. And this is exactly what we're here for today, because this is every small step, or big or small, no matter how somebody looks at it, it all plays a pivotal part to who you are today. So, and that's all evolving through experience. And even till then, till now, it's still a continuous process. So that's why we call it evolving through experience. It's a continuous process. So what would you say is one of the biggest parts, even outside of just your mom, but both parents, you would say, has played in your younger childhood that has those like pretty much intangibles that you keep to this day? Outside of course, the hustling and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, my mom mostly raised me.
Okay.
Shouts out to my father though.
Yeah.
You know, we're connected now. But in my childhood, my mom always instilled pride in us. In Louisiana, I was the oldest, so the oldest of 4. So my mom, she worked 3 jobs, and I never understood why my mom worked so hard and we never had nothing though. You know, at the end of the day, like we couldn't go do any extracurricular activities. She just had enough to pay the bills. So one thing she always instilled within us was, hey, make sure you take pride in whatever you do. And that's the reason why my haircuts come out so well. That's the reason why anything I do, anything I touch, it has, I call it the Vonkeith effect. You know, I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very ambitious. I get all that from my mother. You know, like everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody done got an ass whooping, or, you know, they got, you know, they got beat for not having the house clean or not having things tidy or whatever. But my mom was just a little more tedious about those things. So we became very, very prideful just on the simple things as far as cleaning up, cooking, making sure things were, you know, in order in your house. Because if your house is in order, then everything outside of your house will be in order in your life. So basically, she taught me a lot of organization skills, you know. So as I got older, I started looking at my friends and I started realizing, like, man, I should be thankful for those beatings. I should be thankful for how hard my mom was on me, because I am the oldest. Because they look at me like, oh yeah, V, you know you're gonna be something because look at you. And I'd be like, I mean, I'm just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
But my mom, she was so hard on us. She put so much pressure on us to where even when someone tries to pressure me, I'm like, it's normal, bro.
Yeah.
Like, don't even try me like that.
Yeah. Because it's not gonna phase you at the end of the day.
Never.
So would you say, obviously that's a great thing. Do you feel like it was any, like, not necessarily say bad, but maybe negative effects of always trying to be a perfectionist, that sometimes whether that leads to overthinking or feeling like you didn't accomplish something by a certain time because you always have been that focusing on trying to be that perfectionist?
See, here's one thing that I do feel bad for a lot of young men. And I was actually, by the grace of God, he touched me. You know, I've always had an effect on just having older people in my life. So I go by a phrase. I'm going to try to get it right the first time. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. Smart people learn from their own mistakes. And ignorant people, they just keep making the same dumb mistakes. So I feel like I've been here before. Of course, I have an old soul. So I've learned to watch people and say, okay, I know what not to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, he's getting antsy or he's getting agitated. You know, I know what not to do with that either. You know? So I study people's moves. I study people's body language a lot. I actually took a class on it in college. You know, I was so obsessed with it. But just having older people in my life kept me in line. So it made me not drift off, you know. Does that answer your question?
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. And it's no wrong answer. I think it all plays whether somebody see it or not, it's no wrong answer with it. So that definitely answers my question at the end of the day. I know I've asked you this before. I just want to go ahead and get this out the way before I start digging deeper. What does evolving through experience mean to you? Obviously, I know it's your whole life already, but before we start taking it to the next level, I just want to ask you that.
Evolving through experience, man, it's so self-explanatory. Like how we always say, I'm like, man,
for sure.
It's such a catchy phrase. Like, I love it so much. But evolving through experience for me is understanding your highs and also understanding your lows. Not getting so high on the highs, but not getting so low on the lows either. It's like just understanding and sitting in the moment and sitting with yourself. Like when someone says, hey, young man, you need to sit with yourself. Like a lot of people don't understand that. That goes over somebody's head so quickly, you know? And in order to evolve through experience, you have to sit down, understand, okay, this moment I'm in is the present, okay? Now, you can dwell on the past, you can look forward to the future, but if you're evolving through experience, you have to sit down and say, okay, this is what's going on, and how do I move forward? You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. But when you evolving is either you backpedaling or you getting better. It's either or. There's no in between.
Correct.
So that's why I say you have to really sit with yourself and understand what is going on in life and where you're at in life. Because if you don't do that, then you might have a breakdown. And it's okay to have a breakdown, but it's about how you bounce back. That's another thing about evolving through experience. How do you bounce back if you had a low? You know what I'm saying? If you had a high, how do you calm down and still keep yourself modest? I hate using the word humble because I don't like the definition of humble.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
You said it, yeah.
But how do you maintain your modesty but still keep progressing? Because a lot of people, if God gives you your wants and your needs, but also gives you your desires, then that's when you can drift. Now, when I say drift, that's because I read this book by Napoleon Hill. It's called Outwitting the Devil. The book changed my life. Drifting is when you're doing things that's keeping you unfocused. You're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Unproductive.
Like, very unproductive. It makes you unproductive. Like indulging in women, pumping your gut with fatty foods because you got all the money to do it. What do you put in your sight? What do you put in your eyes? Are you feeding your brain good things? You know, like look at your shirt. We know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But
it's peace
that's a good.
Let's be clear. Peace hub.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. Let's be clear.
But we know, you know where I was going. But
yeah,
you know,
I got you.
I think, but you know, and we can touch on it. Like porn is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because internet access is at an all-time high nowadays. So porn addiction is something that a lot of men or just a lot of women don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm starting to get a lot more young men come in my chair and say, hey man, like I want to stop, but I can't stop. So then that's when you signify, okay, I have a problem.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Evolving. That's evolving right there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's the first step.
The acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
Acceptance, yeah.
Once you accept what's at hand, then you're like, okay, cool. How do I change it?
Correct.
Okay. Then once you change it, you have to understand and be patient with yourself and say, hey, this ain't gonna happen overnight.
Correct.
It takes 21 days to break a habit. How in the world do you expect for me to say, hey, today I'm gonna go vegan? Now you can go cold turkey. I mean, I've seen people do it.
I did cold turkey. Hey,
shouts out to you.
Hey,
it's still a process. Shouts out to the man right here too. He say pescatarian. Sure. Okay, cool. But I mean, I've had my experiences with the food, right? Like because I think the hardest part about evolving is going on the right path, but then you drift back into like, man, I miss doing this though, boy.
Yeah.
Like, let me get one off real quick, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what it feels like to be doing right.
Correct.
And I mean, every rapper says, I think Chance the Rapper said, he said, why does it feel so good to do the wrong things?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not in his exact words, but when I listened to that, I said, damn, man, that touched me. Because it's like, when you're talking about porn, right?
Yeah.
You know this is bad. But then your hormones get all riled up and it's like, man, I'm in heat. Let me go do this real quick.
Yeah.
But then after you're done, that post-nut clarity, it's like, oh my goodness, man. What did I do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or even just dealing with a woman. You know, you're not supposed to be sleeping with this woman.
Yeah.
And look what you went to go do. And now you think about it afterwards.
And you wonder why you did it.
You wonder why you did it.
You kind of regret it because it's like, you know, that's not what you was really supposed to do. And it's like, you only did it for the sake of that temporary feeling or sensation. But long term, that sensation is not going to be there. So then
So, and to touch on that, bro, evolving through experience is just keeping that good sensation consistently.
Correct.
Because we can feel the high, we can feel the goodness of like being on the righteous path, and then we let's hit it low. And life is valleys and peaks. We all get it, but just keep the consistency going. That's evolving through experience.
No, for sure. And I know I'll let you say if you want humble. I also, being that we brought that up, why we both don't like that word, and I have a debate with it all the time. If you want to say the definition, you can, or I can. It doesn't matter. You want to say it?
To me, humbleness is just like belittling yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
saying?
Like,
for the lack of the exact definition, it's like dimming your light, and I just don't see the point of us doing it. I think we've been taught so long to be humble, and it's just like, I'm not saying be cocky or to pretty much bash anybody else for what you may have and they don't, but in the sense of you shouldn't have to walk in the room and dim your light just for the sake of making other people feel better. And that's just how I feel about it. And like I said, not in the sense of trying to dim somebody and make them feel bad, but don't belittle yourself for their sake. Because then it's like, who are you to be pretty much dismiss that for what you've been blessed with? Because then if your blessing is away, it's like, okay, now you back at square one, but you didn't pretty much take value in it in the sense of that. That's what I mean as far as what I mean by it.
Yeah, most definitely. Sometimes you need your ego to remind these fools.
Yeah.
So it's like, I remember this, a good friend of mine, this dude, I played trombone in college. I played trombone all my life, actually. I started in 6th grade.
You gonna do a tribute today for us? You got one today to do a tribute for us?
Oh, man, I wish I did, bro. I haven't played in a minute. My chops are going.
Yeah, I got you.
But I was that guy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I loved my instrument. I fell in love with my instrument when I got to college, but you don't know that you're doing something until you meet someone else who's better than you. And my colleagues, they used to always brag about a good friend of mine. He was like, man, this dude's cold, bro. Like, you think we're good? No, this dude can sing through his horn. Like, when someone says they can sing through their horn, like, have you ever heard of House of Prayer?
I heard of it before. Yeah.
This dude he played with House of Prayer. Like, he's that cold. And you just don't. That ain't no willy-nilly stuff. You just go in there like, or whatever. So I heard the dude play one time, man. I said, oh my God. I almost cried. I said, bro, I thought I was doing something. Like, it made me want to go and sit down. Like, man, I don't need to play this no
give
more.
up.
Not give up, but like, but what triggered me, I was like, dude, you are the coldest person I ever heard play. He said, I'm all right, man. I said, what? I wish somebody would tell me I'm all right with my haircut clippers. I mean, you might get slapped. You know what I'm saying? But when you say, you don't have to be cocky, you're right. But that's the hardest balance, maintaining that cockiness and that confidence, because I'm gonna walk around with my chest out like I'm gonna believe that I'm the best. You know what I'm saying?
As you should, though. As you should.
But I know when to turn it on and off. Like if someone like, yeah, man, ain't nobody touching me or whatever. Okay, cool, you got it.
Oh yeah, in that sense, like, okay, cool. Yeah. For sure. And I think it's just a matter, like you said, I guess it depends on the time, but even then it's like, I don't even feel like that's turning it off. You just chilling like that. And when you trying to turn it on in that sense, that's where it becomes like you just trying to be cocky. But in the sense of if somebody asks you like, yeah, I feel I'm the best. Yeah, I'm going to always say that. I don't feel like that's in a sense where you need to be humble. I don't believe in that. But to bring it back, like you said, just as far as like the indulging in over women, like a lot of women unnecessarily porn or whatever people may be dealing with, there's pretty much addictions to anything. It's like you said, knowing after the fact you're not going to be pretty much happy with yourself for whatever reason. True. It brings me back just to be transparent. You even know yesterday, like it was a lot going on this week for me. So it's like I was telling you, like I went cold turkey vegan and things like that. So I was tempted to go get a drink because it's just like, bro, like the week has just been super hectic for me. Obviously I didn't do it, but in the sense of feeling like, yo, at least that'll bring me peace. But on the back end, when I actually really truly think about it and digest it, I'm like, no, I know that's not the real answer. That's not going to be any real solution. So I'm glad you said that, because that just goes back to like, I'm still dealing with it in the sense of every day just growing, dealing with my own things and not letting the world make it seem just because I got this platform that, oh, I got everything together or we got everything together. It's an everyday process. And at the end of the day, we have to pretty much, I don't know if finding that balance is the word, but pretty much trying to figure out the next pretty much step to continue to grow while, of course, dealing with what we deal with.
I've been holding it.
Nah, you good?
Do it over you.
Nah.
However, I'm going to brag on you for a little bit because I'm glad you brought that segue back.
Yeah.
Yesterday when you left, I thought about you a lot.
Yeah.
I think I was in therapy mode. Like I think you prepped me for therapy mode after what we talked about, because the young fella that came after you, my goodness.
You were.
I cut his hair for 2 hours. That's all I'm gonna say. We had a long talk. I had to get
my
him
haircut
right.
ain't never been too. Like, nah, I'm joking.
Yours was an hour and 30 minutes now.
Okay, I'm joking. It don't matter.
But
I know, my fault. I know I play too much. That's what it's about. It's about balance, guys.
But I really appreciate you for opening up, because I just said, hey, dig deep, unlock. Like, I mean, of course, I'm damn near a therapist, as a barber. Like, I know what questions to ask.
Exactly.
So I know how to open somebody up. But I always, give them that discretion. Like, hey, you can talk about it if you want to. You don't have to.
Yeah. Making it a comfortable space for sure.
Exactly. And that's why I love being in the personal suite. Because being in the barbershop, I was told things, but when I got in the suite, that's when it got really hard. Like, I'm so much of an empath, I had to really just cut it off and just listen, and that's it. And be okay with someone has problems. I let them know that I'm here for them. I love them, and that's it. I can't take on their problems. I was holding it on my chest and on my heart too much because I do have a heavy heart. Very compassionate about people. I mean, hey, that's why we prayed in here before we started, right? But going back to our conversation that we had yesterday, I'm glad you opened up because I always wanted you to understand you're younger than what you think you are. And you're so ambitious, you know, and you remind me so much of me at your age to the point I'm glad I was able to say, hey, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Because someone else, they got me. So once you create that chain link,
how it should be,
we all got each other, especially as black men. Because a lot of black men, we don't have someone just to get off of work and call, man, let me tell you what happened today. You know, we don't even, that's just step one. We don't even have that. We go home, dad mode, or we go home, we go to our vices. You know what I'm saying? And that's drinking or whatever. Like, shout out to Franklin Saint, man. Snowfall, it still messed with me to this day. You know, like,
nah, because it's so real. It's real. That's the crazy part. It's not just a show.
You know what one of my clients told me? He said, V, be honest with me. If Franklin Saint was on the porch, you know, smoking and drinking with some young fellas or whatever, and he told them that story, the whole story of like how he came up, had $70 million, you think they would believe him looking at him? I said, damn, no. I wouldn't believe him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, how you lose it all? Because if you could lose it all, I'm gonna respect you more if you can gain it back. You know, I know people who became a millionaire and lost it twice and became a millionaire again. I want to dig deep.
I'm trying to avoid that. I just say I want to avoid that.
But I mean, but that's where we talk about evolving through experience. You know, you have your highs and then you're gonna have your lows. But if you don't understand who you are and where you are and how have you evolved into how did you evolve to become a millionaire, then no, you're not going to get back to being a millionaire. You're just going to become, you know, you're going to go back to being homeless because the young fella after you, the reason why the haircut took 2 hours is because the brother did a video for me. Like he's shooting type of quality like this, right? Did a whole video for me for doing my when Instagram released the subscriptions or whatever.
Okay, the subscriptions.
So he came in. He was with me for 5 hours. He was with me for 5 hours. Paid him $500 for the day. You know, and I was, you know, I kind of pulled a Jay-Z move on him. I was like, hey, I need you to come tomorrow, bro. Can you do that? I can make it happen, bro. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know my clients. These are the type of clients I want to promote. You know, on my page or whatever. Because not every haircut is promotable. But came through flawless. I'm talking about. Did some ASMR work, put some music behind it, killed it. But he was like, V, you probably didn't know that, but I was homeless then. And I was like, wow. You know, I'm just like, okay, let me get you right, bro. You know what I'm saying? You need to go back to the drawing board. This needs to be your step your game up summer. Because I had that. When you met me in 2018, that was my step my game up summer right there. Because I don't know if y'all know, but this brother right here is very particular about his haircut. It's like he, wait, hold up. Let me look in the mirror. Hold up, wait. Okay, I'm talking about, man.
You're dragging it right now.
Nah, this was the funniest part when I first cut your hair when I first met you, because you was referred to me by.
I think Ryan, maybe?
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, man.
Mr. Fort Valley.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
That's my guy. But Darrell came. I touched his mustache. Wait. Oh, okay. Just keep it wide for me. Keep it wide. I was like, oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be patient with him. But look at our relationship now. You know, I could have brushed you off like, oh my goodness, you're so picky. But thank God for patience. You know, I evolved. That's how I evolved. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad. So, nah, for sure. That's funny. Nah, I'm glad you said that. That's so funny. I know. Like you said that. I'm glad you brought that story up. That's a funny story. I know you could talk about it all day.
I got a memory, bro. I remember everything.
you said you got a memory for everything?
Yeah, I remember everything.
I just feel like, I don't feel like I was too picky though, but I mean, to each his own. I just wanted my stuff right, but it was the first time, like you said, we came since then, like we've evolved since then.
But let me say this. I'll say this. New York people have changed my life, okay, in the best ways possible. Because when I came to Atlanta, going to South Gwinnett, bro, I've never seen the skinny dark denim, the dark denim jeans or whatever. I'm like, yo, like this kind of fresh. It ain't my style. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still wearing the Dickies.
Yeah,
I'm in my little Boosie era. You know what I'm saying? I got the big shirts, all that. But y'all have a way of rubbing off on people. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with more New York people, it made me realize like, okay, I need to be more strategic with certain type of people. And that's all it was for you. I just had to be more strategic with my patients. Like I couldn't get mad at the fact that, hey, wait. Because, and then another thing about dealing with Northeastern people as well, not just New York people, y'all trust is a lot lower than Southern people. You know what I'm saying? Because Southern hospitality is real. You know, somebody be like, hey, what's up? All right, cool. Just shake your hand, keep it moving. But New York people, y'all looking around like, hey, bro, what's up? Like, why you keep following me? Why you looking at me like that? You know what I'm saying? So I've just learned to accept and just bring it in. You know what I'm saying? And now I think
got some great
50% of my clientele is New York people, bro. Like,
got some great friends.
Yeah, man. I love y'all to death, man.
I mean, I want to take it back to therapy because this is also why I said it was so important to have you on. Like, and it's beyond the Clippers as well, but you are a therapist. And the reason I say that is because I actually have a story, not for me personally, but from another barber who a guy was getting sentenced to life, right? You know, when you get sentenced to life, unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately and unfortunately, it's like you get one last thing you ask for. The thing that he requested was a haircut. He just wanted a haircut because personally for me, I know getting a haircut, it's like, I think it makes anybody feel a lot better. I think it brings your self-esteem up. Not saying only your appearance should make you bring self-esteem, but it's just like, it's by default. Like literally I'll get a haircut from you and then it's like, I may have had a pimple on my face and the next time I get out of the chair, it's like nowhere to be found. And I'm not even like dragging it. That's really how it be. And like I said, that's why I said it's therapy, because the fact that he was wanting to go get a haircut as his last thing, it could have been a roof Chris steak. It could have been anything. I don't know. Whatever he may have wanted. He may have wanted to just fly on a private jet. I don't know. But the fact his last thing he wanted, his request, was just get a haircut. I know the barber probably took forever to finish that because I mean, respectfully, so
that would have been a 2-hour haircut.
Yeah, no, that probably was probably 3-4 hours. Truth be told, like take your time, bro, because it's like, and I actually want to ask him like, how did that make him feel? I'm not sure if you had any situation like that, but it's like, how does that make you feel as a barber, knowing like, yo, the last person, he just wanted you particular to cut his haircut because once he goes behind those gates, he's never coming back out. And that says a lot. That says a lot for you all as a barber, although you're more than a barber, and we'll talk about that. But that's why I say it's therapy.
I never thought barbering would be as big as I made it within me, or even outside of me. I really got inspired by my barber in Baton Rouge. He was cutting at a shop called Webb's. You from Baton Rouge, you should know what Webb's is at. If you don't know what Webb's is, or you never heard of it, you're not from Baton Rouge. I'm sorry. But my barber, his name was Lenny. Bro, the first time I walk in the shop, it's packed Saturday morning. Damn, I thought I got here early. This dude had 7 heads. And I'm like, I'm not used to that, you know?
Yeah.
He said, it ain't gonna be that long. Bro, this dude he ain't saying a word. He getting his money. This man is, and every haircut fresh now. Now, this is back in 05. So, like, the haircuts were different, but I remember my haircuts was fresh. I still got family pictures. You know what I'm saying? So, he was doing his thing. So, one Saturday, I see him and his brother pull up. Then some Cadillac Escalades, like Midnight Club, Dub Edition. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wow. These dudes get money, bro. Like, how much money they making? How long are they staying?
Yeah.
What are they doing? You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of streamrolled me into like looking into barbering. You know what I'm saying? Like, and understanding there is money into it.
Yeah. Because
I have a whole college degree. I have an agriculture economics degree from Fort Valley State. But I'm having odds with my uncle because he raised me for a good part of my life as well. I lived in Colorado Springs from when I was 5 to 8 years old. It was like Candyland up there. You know, I actually had a childhood. Then came back to Louisiana. I had to be the oldest, you know. Yeah. But with him raising me, he always just wanted me to be successful because I was like his son and everything. So, you know, we was at odds for about a year or two. We didn't talk to each other because
why is that? If you don't mind sharing,
he didn't believe that barbering would be. He didn't believe that I would be successful as I am at barbering. Not saying he was doubting me. Yeah. It was just
he wanted more. He thought it should be more for you.
He wanted a career path for me. He wanted me to get the 401k. He wanted some foundation because that's what he knows. That's what he's used to.
Knew,
and that's okay because man, my uncle was well off. He taught me how to. the reason why I drive a luxury sports car is because of him. You know, I watched him get a Lexus, a BMW, a Porsche, a Benz S-Class. You know, like you name it. He had every car that you can think of. So he's a walking testimony of you know, getting a 9-to-5 job, moving up in the ranks, being successful. However, I fell in love with cutting hair too much in school, and the stuff people was telling me in my dorm room, you know, like, bro, you are great. Like, I can't believe this. And I'm like, bro, this ain't, I got some $2 clippers from Walmart, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing, you know? But if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But I started taking it a lot more serious, and I started taking my craft a lot more serious as I moved into my sophomore year, into building 2, into the dorms. And that's when I really got the support. That's when I started realizing, okay, this is foundation. This is networking right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's when everybody started coming to me. I'm talking about, bro, to this day, I'm talking about last weekend, I'm at Tequila Fest having a good time. I'm walking in, I'm like, man, I hope I don't run into anybody I know. What was I wrong?
I don't even know why you expected that.
What? V, man, remember you cut my hair? I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, so going back to your story, just from someone slapping my shoulder, like, bro, like I haven't even cut their hair in years, probably a decade. They hit me like, man, the way you made me feel, I could feel that energy, like, man. And then look at you now, you doing your thing, you actually stuck it out. Like I had somebody comment on my page recently, and he was like, bro, I can't believe how far you took barbering. Like, I was cutting hair as well in school. I didn't even know this either. Like, I was like, I felt bad, like, because I knew the dude. I thought he was just a musician or something like that, like a rapper. But he was like, yeah, I was cutting hair too, but I was losing clients to you because you was just so dedicated to your craft. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. You know what I'm saying? But
are you mad? Like,
no, I know he
wasn't mad. I know it's just funny.
I just couldn't believe how he set aside his pride just to tell me that in a comment on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man,
in front of everybody. That's
in front of everybody, but on a viral post. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to him.
Shouts out to my man, bro. Like, that was very, very respectful.
For
and
sure.
Just hearing different comments and different stories like that, that's what makes me feel like, yes, barbering is the most therapeutic thing to a man, besides going to see an actual therapist, you know, because you actually have somebody you can unlock with, you actually have somebody you can talk to. However, not every barber you can talk to. Some people just want to get their money and get out. And that's why I do put my price point at a certain point, because
you ain't charging $10 no more. I was gonna say that. The price went up. The price went up.
I mean, I put the pressure on myself, but not only did I put the pressure on myself, I went and sought the knowledge. You know, one of my OGs out there in Houston, his name is Smash the Legend.
Okay.
This dude was charging $100 for a haircut back in 2017. This is when $100 meant something. Okay, so I'm like, man, my mom just passed. I had to go to Houston with my aunt. I had to get in. You know, I had to get a fresh cut for the funeral or whatever. I missed them. Couldn't get them. So that was around Thanksgiving time. Went back out there, tried again. My boy's like, bro, don't give up. You need to go see this dude. Right. Now, this is where this is why you need to have older people in your corner. I would have never met this dude because I'm so busy with trying to fill myself up on Instagram and build myself that I'm not focused on other talents. You know, I'm like Lil Wayne.
Focus on your stats.
Yeah, who was that?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, go see this guy. Okay. Man, get out there. He makes a post. Hey, Christmas Eve special, $150. Yo, I need it. You know what I'm saying? I went through, man. I think he took about 2 hours to cut my hair. Just because of the conversation.
Yeah.
He put, I know y'all not Saints fans or whatever, but I'm a Saints fan. He from Louisiana as well.
So yeah.
All good. But he put the Fleur de Lis sign in the back of my head, man. I was like, and the way he did it, it didn't even feel like he put it in. I was like, you did it? Like, because, you know, he just, but I didn't feel too many taps, you know, like that's how artistic he is. And then it got to the point, he's like, yeah, bro, I'm just playing around with your fade, bro. I'm just talking to you.
Not
like,
playing
I'm
around.
Just giving you.
That's not the right word, but now I got you.
I mean, he was just,
I know.
He was just, you know, joking around, just talking to me so much because he saw, I guess he saw so much of me and him. This man gave me $1 million worth of game right then and there. And that's what made me realize, okay, cool. Now I see why I need to charge $100 for a haircut because
the value,
the way this man leveled up his clientele, like this dude was cutting Chris Webber. You walk in his shop, he got Chris Webber, Reggie Miller, Eric Gordon, you name it, bro. He had so many different people on his wall. Like him telling me the story about Eric Gordon pulling up on him. He said, hey, bro, even T-Mac. This is how he got all the NBA players. talk about power networking. T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, by the way, he posts a post on Instagram. Hey, I'm looking for a barber in Houston. Need a haircut. Hey, bro, this is I just moved to Houston, but if you're looking for a barber, I got you. Send him. He said he didn't even send him his best picture. Hey, man, can you pull up at the house real quick? Cut T-Mac here. Next thing you know, he's cutting everybody here now. Eric Gordon hits him up. He said, hey, bro, I need a haircut, man. Like, he didn't even know who it was. He was like, all right, cool. Can you pull up at this time? All right, cool. Dude pull up on him in a white Rolls Royce. He said, oh, my goodness. He said, oh, this dude get out. He said, oh, shit, that's Eric Gordon. Like, man, well. So that's when he started realizing, like, man, I'm ramping up, you know? So you talk about one of the most strategic and smart guys that I've ever met. Yeah. I give a lot of my career to him, too, you know, because he was very inspirational to me as far as, like, artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, setting up your suite, detailing your fades, making your haircuts come out a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just charging. It's not about charging $100 and getting $100. It's about displaying artwork. That's why I call myself Vonkeith The Artist. You know, like, I don't trap myself in the box, bro. Like, whatever comes out, you my canvas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you making me look good. You making me money.
Fact.
And even if you're not bringing me another client in the chair, at least somebody's coming to you saying, bro, who cut your hair?
Yeah.
You know, oh, they charge $100. It's worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving.
The value. So